Oh yeah, wait a minute, Mr. Postman. Hey, what's up? I'm Rafael di Furia, aka Rafi D is me, and I am back at it again on another beautiful Friday night. Even though it actually happens to be the middle of the afternoon, but shh, that'll be our secret. Anyway, today I wanted to talk about something that may seem quite mundane, but is very different for those of us coming from the States and other countries, the Italian post office, and a little bit of the system kind of around it, because it's not just a post office. But before we get too much deeper into the video, if you would like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on, and if you could also give this video a like, that would really be appreciated. Also, another way of helping out the channel is by sharing this video with your friends on social media, email, WhatsApp, however you guys keep in contact. But for those of you who would like to help make more videos like this possible on a monthly basis, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon, or if you'd like to help out just one time, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/support. So behind me, you might be able to see the post office. But you know what? Just starting to become spring now and starting to warm up a little bit. And because you guys really enjoyed my last video going out and about and seeing a little bit more outside, I thought maybe today I might just record this video outside. And also, by the way, thank you all so much to those of you who watched my last video and gave me feedback about that you would actually like to see more videos outside in more of kind of a vloggy kind of style, out and about, showing a little bit more of Italy and where I live in Italy. So the schedule is Fridays are going to stay the same, but every other Tuesday, maybe every Tuesday at some point, I'll start doing another extra video. But what about the post office in Italy? It's a little bit different. Like I was mentioning before, it's not just mail that they do here, but the post offices in Italy also function as banks, mobile service providers, like for cell phones, and certain payments can also be made through the postal office as well. For example, some types of visas, you actually have to go to a post office. But firstly, let's talk about what happens when you walk in. In the US, for example, generally when you walk into the post office, at least when I lived in America and the places that I lived in, you would walk in and you would wait in line. And as soon as it's your turn, you go up to the teller. Simple as that. Here, it functions similarly, depending on where you are. In a lot of post offices, they have a kiosk when you go in. I'm not going to go inside because I'm sure that it's probably not allowed to film in there, so I'm going to describe it to you as best as I can. In the smaller post offices, this type of kiosk doesn't exist, and just waiting in line is more than likely what you would need to do. But when you get to the kiosk, it should be a touch screen with options for postal service, mobile services, and banking. Once you've selected one of those, a ticket will pop out with your number. And in the post offices that do have this kiosk system with the tickets, you will also have a screen. But in a lot of post offices, you won't be able to hear the announcement, and the tellers don't announce generally, at least that's been my experience, what number is coming up next. So you want to keep an eye on the screen to see what number is coming up next. And there could be a whole room of people waiting there, but because for the service that you need to go in for example, if you're going for postal services, maybe you might have a very short line and everybody else there is waiting for banking or whatever. And so that might mean that you could walk in there and you could be in and out in just a few minutes. Although I would say that's less common. But at a smaller post office where they don't have this kiosk system in place and you just wait in line, my experience has been that those types of post offices generally seem to be much faster because not as many people go to them, unless it's the only place in town. But here in Merano, for example, this is the central post office, the main hub for all postal services in this town. But in another part of town, they have a much smaller post office for people who live in that neighborhood. I mean, really anybody who lives anywhere can access the services there. But that one is so much smaller that you just wait in line and you wait for the first available teller. But also in regards to packages and deliveries, you have a lot of private courier companies that exist. BRT is just one of the ones that I can think of off the top of my head. And sometimes, for example, Amazon packages might come through a private courier. However, in sometimes smaller areas, just like you would have in the States for like last leg services, I think is what they call it, the Italian postal service might be the one that actually does the delivery to you if the courier has a smaller presence in your area. And one other little quick bonus, this is actually how they deliver packages in some places. But what about banking? This is one thing for a lot of Americans that it's actually kind of strange to think about. You can use the post office as a bank, and they have a bunch of different types of accounts there. And also, if you might be able to see, there's a little square over in right here, and that's actually an ATM, and it does function pretty much like a regular bank. They even have online services that you can use, and you can do bank transfers throughout Europe through the SEPA zone. You can also do international bank transfers, and it depends on what kind of services you need. And for a lot of younger people who are going to be moving here and don't need a loan, don't need any like big services for investments and these kinds of things, the post office may actually be the best option for you and will probably be a lot less expensive than going through a bank. But keep in mind, going to a bank just in general may not always be the most pleasant experience, but think of going to the bank with all of the convenience of the post office. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But I actually do have one of their Postpay Evolution cards, and what it is a prepaid card. It functions very much like a credit card. If you have an Android phone, you are able to use it with Android Pay or Google Pay, whatever it's called. But if you have an iPhone at this point in time, it doesn't work with Apple Pay. But for that type of card, you can get an IBAN, which is your bank account number, a semi-public number that you can receive transfers to. For example, if you have a job in Italy, it's very common that you get paid through a bank transfer rather than through a check. So it's actually a little bit more convenient in some ways. So with one of these cards, what you could do is you could receive all of your monthly payments to that account and then basically use it like a regular card just about anywhere because it's a regular MasterCard. You can even use it online, and it only costs 12 euros per year. And you can set up some paid services through it, like for example, phone or internet, whereas not all cards offer that level of service to allow monthly transfers to happen. They do charge you for it, but it's a very small fee. I believe off the top of my head, it might be about 40 cents or so per transaction. So over the course of the year, if you have 2 transactions per month, plus the cost of the account of 12 euros, it's like 18, 19 euros for the year. Or what you could also do is get an N26 account that I've made a video about before and use that as kind of like a funnel and get all of the transfers to come in there and get your payments to come in through N26. And then when you need to pay bills on your Postpay card, you can just transfer the money for free from N26, because also the N26 account for just a basic simple account is free. But in Italy, you cannot set up monthly payments through a lot of different companies because they want you to have an Italian IBAN or an Italian card, but it depends on the company. Some companies may allow you to have an international IBAN or an international card, but it depends. But in general, a lot don't like it. So I would say maybe the easiest would be to have a Postpay Evolution card along with an N26 and balance the two out. Because if you are someone who has an iPhone and likes to use Apple Pay, you will be able to use Apple Pay with an N26 account. So with using the two in conjunction with each other, you could actually get away with spending a lot less annually than maybe having a regular bank account. But the only drawbacks are that these basically are debit cards. So if you want a credit card, that's going to be a little bit of a different thing. But if you guys are interested to hear more about credit cards and these sorts of things in Italy, leave a comment down below and maybe at some point I'll make a video about that. And the other thing that you can take care of here that may not be as normal in some other places is to go pay certain bills or to pay certain fees that you would have to pay to the government. Like I was mentioning before, if you're coming to Italy and you need to get a permesso di soggiorno, a permission of stay to be able to be here in the country after you've already got your visa to be here, you may actually have to go to the post office to pay for that. And they'll have the forms there in theory. You would sign and take care of everything at the post office rather than going to the police or to the comune. But this would only be for certain types of permesso di soggiorno. But if you're talking about permesso di soggiorno for the purposes of citizenship acquisition, like for iure sanguinis, for example, then that's done through the police, where these other types of permissions of stay would be taken care of at a post office. And I'm just realizing as I'm sitting here editing the video that I completely forgot to talk about the mobile phone service that the post office also offers. Yes, I'm talking about like cellular phone service, minutes, data, and SMS. The plans are always changing, so be sure to check out what they've got on offer. And they're a virtual operator, so they don't actually own any of the towers. They're basically just reselling minutes. But they have a couple different options available. Like if you get the Postpay Evolution card, you can get a deal that includes having a bank account through them that has more services than just the regular Postpay Evolution card itself with the IBAN. But if you wanted to get just the Post Mobile services, they have unlimited calls and SMS, and 50 gigabytes of data for €9.99 per month. But that's not even the best plan that I've seen. Currently, I have a plan through Iliad, and I believe I'm paying $7.99 per month. But it's for unlimited SMS and minutes here in Italy, plus I have unlimited minutes to a bunch of countries around the world. And then if I'm traveling around Europe, then I would also have minutes, SMS, and data. But as time goes on, I'm sure the deals will just get better and better. So if you're interested in getting getting service through the post office, then I would recommend looking at that point in time what they have on their website, and who knows, maybe they might have a different deal available in the post office. That's one thing for sure though, with any other mobile operator that has a store like Vodafone, TIM, I would actually recommend not using TIM, or 3, and I've had very good experiences with 3/Wind. They're basically the same company now. And the prices that you might see on the actual, like, for example, 3 website might be different than what you can find in the store. What you see on the website might be just a special online offer, but you might actually be able to find a better special in-store offer. But anyway, if you have any questions or anything to add to the conversation, feel free to leave a comment down in the comment section below. Or if you have a question about anything else, feel free to leave it down there as well. And who knows, could become a video at some point. And if you would like to see more content like this about moving to Italy, Italian dual citizenship, and living life abroad, please be sure to subscribe with that notification bell turned on. And if you could also give this video a like, I'd really appreciate that. And a huge thank you to those of you who are helping to make videos like this possible on a monthly basis. If you would like to also help, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/Patreon to help make more videos like this possible. Or if you'd like to help out just once, you can go to rafaeldifuria.com/support. And if you enjoyed this video, or if you know someone who might find it interesting, feel free to share this video on social media, through email, or through WhatsApp, however you and your friends keep in contact. But anyway, thank you for joining me on another beautiful Friday night. I'm Rafael Di Furia, aka Rafi D is me. I look forward to seeing you all next Friday, and I hope you all have a great weekend. See you maybe next Tuesday, but for sure next Friday. Later.